Welcome to this first episode in a two-part series on Aristotle's theory of knowledge. Being Plato's student, one might expect Aristotle's epistemology to resemble his teachers. That's true to a degree. Aristotle's epistemology shares in Plato's claim that knowledge exists in the grasping of universal truth, but the similarities trail off from there. Aristotle and Plato's epistemologies are famously opposed, where Plato asks his readers to look for knowledge in the immaterial world of forms. Aristotle asks his audience to begin on the ground. He believes that the path to knowledge is rooted in the corporeal affairs we observe through sense perception. In this series, we will examine Aristotle's empiricist epistemology by picking apart the different kinds of knowledge he claims we can have and how we can come to have that knowledge. Aristotle distinguishes between two kinds of knowledge. The first kind is of basic truths, or first principles. First principles are the basis on which all other truths rely. They, quote, cannot be proved, and therefore must be assumed. Moreover, first principles are universal and are true everywhere for all time. Some examples are the definitions of line and straight. It is important to Aristotle that knowledge of first principles be, quote, primary, immediate, better known, and prior to other kinds of knowledge, since, as we'll soon see, no knowledge is possible without them. We come to assume first principles through a process Aristotle calls inductive reasoning, or simply induction. Induction is the putting together of perceptions in order to draw universal truths from inferences about those sense perceptions. Notice here that Aristotle is not equating the particular presentations of sense perception themselves with universal truth. On the contrary, he assumes that, quote, the most universal causes are farthest from sense, and the particular causes are nearest to sense. Sensory experience gives us pieces of the puzzle, but it does not put them together. Induction begins, nonetheless, with observation via the senses. And, quote, out of sense perception comes what we call memory. And out of frequently repeated memories of the same thing develops experience. From experience again originate the knowledge of the man of science. The puzzle provided by sense experience is pieced together through the inductive process. To put it more plainly, by the formation of repeated experiences of particular phenomena, the seeker of knowledge can induce the universal truth of first principles. Having discussed first principles arrived at through induction, Aristotle then moves on to discuss demonstrative truth arrived at through a tool he calls syllogism. That's what we're going to discuss in the next episode. For more content like this, please consider checking out my YouTube channel.